This is the payoff of the whole course. Through Module 5, everything about Atlas was hand-wired. We built the agent loop ourselves. We wrote the memory, the retrieval, the tool servers, and the whole multi-agent crew, line by line, on purpose so we'd understand every wire. In this pillar, we stop hand-wiring Atlas and rebuild it on the Microsoft Foundry Agent Service, a managed runtime for agents. Same Atlas, almost none of the plumbing. This lesson is also your map of Module 6. The next 4 lessons unpack every piece. Let's be honest about how much we're carrying. Over 5 modules, we built Atlas from nothing. Module 1, the agent loop of a run function you wrote by hand. Module 2, reasoning and planning, all prompt scaffolds. Module 3, memory, working state, a long-term store, retrieval over Azure AI search, and episodes. Module 4, the tool servers, spoken over the model context protocol. And Module 5, the whole crew, a planner, researchers, a writer, and a critic on a shared blackboard. We built every layer by hand on purpose, because that's how you truly understand an agent. But this is not how you ship one. Here's the problem with owning all of it. You host it, so you spin up servers, scale them, and keep them alive at 3 in the morning. You persist state, so you stand up your own database for threads, history, and checkpoints. You wire identity, which usually means API keys in an env file, rotated by hand and leaked by accident. You build tracing, bolting on spans, and shipping logs to some dashboard you maintain. And you own every retry, timeout, and partial failure. Notice, none of this makes Atlas one bit smarter. It's undifferentiated heavy lifting, exactly the kind of work a managed runtime should do for you. So meet the Microsoft Foundry Agent Service. In one line, it's a managed runtime for agents. You define the agent. Azure runs it. What do you get? Hosted agents, each one a managed resource, not a script you babysit. Persistent threads, conversation and state, durable by default. Built-in tools, a code interpreter, file search, function calling, open API, and model context protocol. Connected agents. One agent can call another as a tool, so orchestration is built in. Microsoft Entra identity runs with no API keys in your code. And tracing plus evaluations for free. It's everything we hand-built across 5 modules, offered as a service you configure instead of maintain. Think of it as the difference between assembling a PC from loose parts and renting a managed server. The capability is the same, but you stop being the operations team. Put the 2 worlds side by side. Hand-wired, on the left. You run all of it, your process, your thread database, your retry and back-off code, your keys in a .env file, your logging and dashboard and orchestration glue. Hosted, on the right. You define the agents, their instructions, their tools, and the plan. Azure owns the rest. Hosting, threads, intra-identity, retries, scaling, and tracing. It's the same Atlas, doing the same job. There's just far less of it that you have to own and keep alive. And here's the reassuring part. Nothing you learn gets thrown away. Every hand-built idea maps cleanly to one platform primitive. The agent loop becomes a run, the service executes. The system prompt becomes an agent's instructions. Your state and the M5 blackboard become a persistent thread. Long-term memory becomes threads with attached vector stores. Your model context protocol tool servers become shared, hosted tools. The orchestrator and workers become connected agents. A handoff becomes one agent calling another as a tool. And your hand-rolled logging becomes built-in traces. You're not relearning agents. You're configuring the ideas you already own. Let's look at the first primitive, the agent itself. Before, an agent was a script you ran, a while loop that you had to host, retry, and log. Now an agent is a resource. You call create agent once, and Foundry stores it. It gets an ID, a model, an instructions field, and a list of tools. That instructions field is exactly the system prompt from Module 1, the job description that shapes behavior every turn. The difference is that it's now a property of a managed thing with a name, not text buried in your code. You create the researcher once, and from then on you just call it by its ID. Next, where does the work live? On a thread. A thread is an ordered, durable message log with its own ID, and it survives crashes. You can resume at any time. Watch it fill up. The user's question, the plan the orchestrator writes, the tool results, the writer's draft, the critic's verdict. If that sounds familiar, it should. A thread is the short-term state from episode 1.2 and the shared blackboard for module 5, but now the service stores it for you. Every agent on the run reads and writes the same thread. So there's one durable source of truth instead of state object you have to persist yourself. So if the agent is a resource and the thread holds the state, what actually turns the crank? A run. You start a run on a thread with an agent, and the service drives it through a state machine, queued, in progress, and completed. While it's in progress, the service does the perceive and reason steps for you. When a model wants to call one of your tools, the run enters requires action. It pauses and asks you. You run your tool, hand back the result, and it resumes. This is the exact perceive, reason, act, observe loop from Module 1. But the service owns the crank and the state machine. You own the tools, not the loop. Now, how do you give a hosted agent hands? 5 ways. Function tools, your own Python functions, the exact tool contract from episode 1.3, unchanged. Model context protocol tools. You point the agent at the servers we built in Module 4, shared across every agent. A code interpreter, sandbox Python, the model writes, from episode 4.3, now fully managed. File search, managed retrieval over files and vector stores, which is Module 3's RAG as a checkbox. And open API tools, hand it a spec and it calls any REST API. Your Module 4 servers plug straight in, and the service adds hosted tools you'd never want to build yourself. Same tool contract, far less to run. And this is the one that makes the whole Module 5 crew almost disappear, connected agents. You take the researcher, the writer, and the critic, and you expose each of them to the orchestrator as a tool. Now the Atlas orchestrator, which is just our M5 planner, hosted, calls researcher of security exactly the way it calls web search. The entire crew, orchestrator, workers, and handoffs collapses into one feature. A handoff is no longer a typed contract you route by hand. It's just one agent invoking another by name, and the service routes the call and merges the result back onto the thread. And because these calls are just tool calls, the orchestrator can fan several of them out at once. The parallel researchers for Module 5, handled by the runtime instead of your own threading code. Let's actually rebuild Atlas in 3 short steps. Step 1, define the agents. We make a project client, authenticating with default Azure credentials. Notice, no keys. Then we call create agent for the researcher, a model on Microsoft Foundry, a name, its instructions, research one subtopic, cite every claim, and its tools, which are the Module 4 servers. Then the same for the writer and the critic. 3 calls, 3 specialists, each registered with the service. This is the Module 5 crew, but instead of classes we babysit, they're resources Azure holds for us. Step 2, connect them. We wrap each specialist in a connected agent tool. The researcher, the writer, the critic, each with a name and a 1-line description of what it's for. Then we create the Atlas orchestrator and pass that whole crew in as its tools. Read that last line again. The orchestrator's tools are the other agents. That single list is the entire multi-agent system from Module 5. There's no dispatch function, no handoff plumbing, no routing table. The model decides which agent to call, and the service does the routing. Step 3, run it. Create a thread. Host the user's question as a message. Then create and process the run with the thread and the Atlas agent. That one call kicks off the run and turns the crank until it's done, planning, delegating to the connected agents, calling tools, looping the critic all server side. When it returns completed, the cited briefing is simply the last message on the thread. Step back and look at what just happened. The 1,000+ lines we wrote across 5 modules to make this work by hand are now about 40. That's the whole promise of a managed runtime. But did it really do all the work? Let's open the run steps the service recorded. Atlas creates a plan of 3 subtasks. It calls the researcher for cost, then the researcher for security. The researcher itself calls web search and retrieve. Atlas hands the findings to the writer. It sends the draft to the critic, which says revise. And finally, Atlas writes the final brief with 15 citations. You did not write a single line of orchestration. Yet every plan, delegation, tool call, and revision is captured as a run step. It's the exact multi-agent trace from Module 5, produced and stored by the service. And this is exactly why hosted runs matter for debugging. When a brief comes back wrong, you don't guess. You open the run and see which agent, which tool call, and which draft caused it. So let's draw the new line clearly. What you own versus what the service owns. You still own the parts that make Atlas yours. The agent's instructions, which tools they can call, your tool and business logic, the plan, and the policies, and when a human has to approve. The service owns the rest: hosting, scaling, and uptime, thread and state persistence, the run and loop state machine, identity, secrets and retries, and tracing, metrics, and evals. That's the trade you want. You keep the judgment and the tools, the differentiated parts, and you hand off the plumbing that was never really your product. Here's a benefit that's easy to undersell: identity. In our hand-wired version, Atlas reached the world with API keys in an env file. On the service, there are no keys. The agent authenticates as itself through Microsoft Entra, which issues a scope token. Then role-based access control decides exactly what that agent may touch. Yes to the Foundry models and the retrieve index. No to the production database. No to sending email. This is the least privileged guardrail from episode 4.4. But now it's enforced by the identity platform instead of being a policy in your own code that you hope everyone respects. And the moment a crew misbehaves, you want to see inside it. On the service, you do by default. Every run is emitted as a tree of spans. The top span is the whole run, and under it the planner, the parallel researcher spans, the writer, and the critic revise loop, each with its own timing and token count. And it's auto-exported to Azure Monitor and Application Insights with 0 tracing code from you. In Module 5, we drew the span tree by hand just to explain how a crew works. Here the service produces it on every run, and Module 7 builds directly on top of it. There's one more thing you get without building it: evaluation. The service can score each run against evaluators you pick. Groundedness. Is every claim actually backed by a retrieved source? Relevance. Did the brief truly answer the question? Coherence and fluency. Is it well structured and readable? And safety, content, injection, and harm checks on the output. You don't have to stand up an evaluation harness before you can measure whether Atlas is any good. The runtime scores runs for you. That's a preview of Module 7, but here it's just a checkbox, not a project. Now, an important clarification, so you don't think this is a lock-in box. The Microsoft Foundry Agent Service is the runtime, and open frameworks sit on top of it. The Microsoft Agent Framework and Semantic Kernel are the code SDKs. That's episode 6.2. Auto-gen-style orchestration gives you conversational multi-agent group chat. That's 6.4. Your tools stay portable because they're model context protocol, and you build, run, and inspect all of it from Visual Studio Code and the Foundry portal. So 6.2 and 6.4 are the frameworks on top. This pillar is the runtime they all target. Which raises the real question of Module 6. At what level should you work? There are 3. The raw loop, what you built in Modules 1 through 5, gives you the most control and the most plumbing. It's how you learn, and it fits niche runtimes. A framework, the Microsoft Agent Framework or Semantic Kernel, give you structure in portable code, but you still host it. And the hosted service, the Foundry Agent Service, is the least plumbing, fully managed. It's the same agent at 3 different heights. You climbed up from the raw loop to understand it. Most production work lives on a framework or on the service. And And the beautiful part is that these levels compose. You can write your logic in a framework and still run it on the hosted service. So choosing one height rarely locks you out of the others. Let's be fair about the costs, because a managed runtime is not a free lunch. You give up some low-level control. The loop belongs to the service. You configure it, you don't rewrite it. There's platform coupling. You're on Azure, so keep your tools as model context protocol to keep your logic portable. Cost is per run and per token, so convenience has a price you should watch. It's a new surface to learn. Agents, threads, runs, connected agents are real concepts. And it's not for everything. A one-shot model call or a tiny script doesn't need a hosted runtime. Reach for it when you're shipping a real agent and want to stop owning plumbing, not for a toy. And if you already have a hand-built agent, you don't rewrite it in a weekend, you migrate in steps. First, keep your tools as model context protocol servers. They move over untouched. Then lift one agent, say the researcher, as a hosted agent, and check it works. Swap your state object and blackboard for a persistent thread. Turn the crew into connected agents, one link at a time. And as each piece lands, delete the matching hosting, retry, and tracing code, because the service already has it. Because every hand-built piece maps to exactly one primitive, you can move Atlas over incrementally and keep it running the whole way. Every step is a small, reversible change, never a big bang rewrite where the agent goes dark for a week. You've now seen the rebuilt Atlas end-to-end, which makes this pillar the perfect map for the rest of Module 6. 6.1 steps back to the whole framework landscape, why frameworks exist, and how to choose one. 6.2 goes deep on the Microsoft Agent Framework and Semantic Kernel, the Code SDK, with agents, plugins, and planners. 6.4 covers auto-gen-style orchestration, conversational multi-agent group chat, and handoffs. And 6.5 looks at GitHub Copilot and Copilot Studio, low-code agents, and when a platform beats writing code. Same Atlas for closer looks. Let's lock in the pillar in 6 ideas. 1. Agents are managed resources, a model, instructions, and tools with an ID. 2. Threads persist state and history for you. 3. A run is the agent loop, executed by the service. 4. Connected agents are the multi-agent crew, built in. 5. Microsoft Entra identity and tracing come for free. And 6. You own the judgment and the tools, not the plumbing. We hand-built Atlas to understand it. Now it runs on the Microsoft Foundry Agent Service, the same agent, production-ready. And that's the payoff. Atlas is hosted now. The same agent we built by hand over 5 modules, running on a Microsoft Foundry Agent Service without the plumbing. Hosted agents, persistent threads, connected agents, intro identity, and tracing, all managed. Next up, 6.1 steps back to the whole framework landscape and how to choose. Subscribe, and let's keep building Atlas.